Hey guys, TRScientist here. Welcome to the last episode of R/Regular Revenge, day number 30. Then we'll be moving on to Pro once we get into October. But today I have 4 stories lined up, including the top of all time, always ending with the top of all time, because, yes, just because. I don't know why I started on finishing on the top of all time. Sort of inspiration from Captain Sparkles, maybe. But let's get into these stories and not get distracted any further. We'll start off with bum smokes and never share back. Steal my carton of tax-free cigs. Here, have a pack of my special cigarettes. This was in the mid-1980s. I was still a smoker back then. Quit 20 years ago. We were the usual group of 80s teenagers. Bit lazy, hanging out at each other's place, smoking like chimneys and drinking beer. If anyone didn't have any, they got from someone and vice versa. Except one dude. Let's call him Chad. 1980s men. Very much. He was that type of guy that almost never had smokes, and if he had, he didn't share because he only had a few left. Same with beer. He would show up with 2 beers, drink them as fast as possible, then help himself to ours. One time at my place, I had a full carton, 10 packs, of the brand that started with an M, carefully stashed away, and just a pack in my breast pocket. A typical Friday night, building a future lung cancer, demolishing our livers. Next day, my carton was gone. Foo! And by pure chance, all of a sudden, Chad had seemed to have smokes, and the brand that started with an M. Now, isn't that odd? Now, could he have bought them himself? Sure, but mine was brought from a broad tax-free shop, a gift from my dad. Quite identifiable. But things don't last, and it was back to normal. He bummed smokes, and I got more and more pedoed? I don't know that word. Then, as a semi-smart teenager, trying desperately to shorten my life one cig at a time, I hatched a plan. I got one of these cigarette rolling machines and made 19 cigs with tobacco and one single cig with the addition of peri seeds. I'm pretty sure that's what they're supposed to be. And into an empty pack of M they went. I put the pack on the kitchen table, just waiting for next time we gathered at my place. Carefully told all of them not to touch that particular pack. That was for Chad. And a few days later, we were all at my place. Beer and the recreation of the London Great Smog of 1952. Watching him smoke one after another from that special pack. And then I heard it. The popping of... peri seeds. And Chad went white, then green, then purple. Then a wild coughing that could have made a whooping cough virus jealous. Chad couldn't breathe. He teared up, snot dripping from his nose, red face like a baboon's ass. It took him a solid 10 minutes before he could breathe somewhat normally again. All while we laughed and coughed. I leaned forward and said, "That's what you get from stealing from me, and you still owe me for the smokes." He bought me a carton of smokes the next payday. Okay, I thought peri was a well-known chili fruit. It's a very small and very hot chili, and when the seed is heated, as in a cigarette glow, it pops and releases a tiny amount of capsaicin in gas form, and it burns. Try sniffing hot chili powder, and you get the idea of how it feels to inhale it. Oh yes, perfect. I didn't expect the peri seeds to come into this story, but oh damn, I love a good spicy story. Also gets his So I posted this once on r/PayRevenge, but they thought it was a bit more than petty. I didn't think it belonged on Pro, and just discovered this sub in the last couple of days. This might get a bit long on mobile, so autocorrect likes to fuck with me. I try to catch the mistakes, but it doesn't always happen. Backstory: I started dating a guy in November of 2009 when I myself, like, not person in the story, I would have been, finishing primary school, I think. He was sweet and shy. I was 19 and he was 18. We had both just graduated from high school and didn't want to go to college yet, and both still lived at home. He did romantic things for me, like making dinner or bringing me little gifts at work. But a year and a half later, we moved in together because his mum was getting a divorce, and she moved into a really tiny apartment that didn't have room for him. This is where things changed. Once we were living together, I realized something was off. He never cooked, never gave me another gift, wouldn't do his part of the chores. Or chorus. I was confused, but working 2 jobs to help pay the bills. He almost never gave me money for his part unless I pestered him over it, and would get pissy about every penny. He was always buying fast food or video games and complained about being broke. Turns out his mum was the one that had cooked all of our romantic meals. She bought the cute, fun little gifts. Now I don't expect gifts, I would rather have some hugs or an evening watching stars. But it had been nice thinking he was actually wanting to do nice things for me. I would save up and buy him little gifts, but none of it was ever nice enough for him. I was so confused as to what had happened to my sweet, shy boyfriend. I thought it must have been the stress of his mum and dad's splitting. Over the next year and a half, things just got worse. I was still completely responsible for all the bills and the chores, and he felt I treated him too much like a child. So he didn't want any responsibilities, but wanted to be an adult. Okay then. I started growing a backbone. I had done everything I could for this guy. I learnt all his favourite recipes, but it was never good enough. So I became passive-aggressive and stopped doing things for him. The bills he took over never got paid, so I cancelled the ones we didn't need, like cable and internet. They had been in my name, so he would have to get his own. He never did. He just bitched behind my back about to mutual friends who finally told me about it. So I just quit trying. Just give up. At this point. Things just deteriorated to the point of constant arguments. I had stopped doing all his laundry. I only did my own dishes and hid my pots and pans so he couldn't dirty them. Then the night we broke up came. He was shouting at me over never doing anything for him, that I was a selfish bitch, and so on. I was backed up behind the bedroom door, and he raised his fist to hit me. I was so sick of him, I told him to fucking do it. This Friday evening, and I made it clear I would get his ass arrested, and his mum could bail him out Monday. He just stormed out. I cried all night, but started the process of getting his stuff out over the next few days. Now, I'm sure you're all thinking, but Colorado girl, what a name. That's not revenge. Well, here comes the revenge part. The revenge part now. He took a sweet time about getting his shit. I started cleaning what had been our bedroom and found horror under the bed. Bowls of half-eaten food and fast food containers. And the worst, Crusty paper towels. Oh no, masturbation joke. Ah. I thought, more rotting food. Nope, he was jerking off into them. Oh god, no. I put on gloves and cleaned the whole mess out. I held his dishes hostage until he cleaned all the nasty food off mine that were under there. Then I hatched the evil plot. I was so sick of him, so I gloved up. I hunted down every single Crusty paper towel and started packing his nice clean dishes in them. When I ran out of dishes, I started packing other fragile items, making sure to run as much as of the Crusties, one each item as I could. I stuck them inside his DVDs, his games, tore bits up and placed them in his books. 6 months worth of these paper towels were all packed into his most prized possessions. I even stuffed a few into his cereal boxes that he was coming to get. It was so hard handling the last of his stuff with a straight face. A few days later, I get a text asking me what was all those paper towels about. And why did I put them in cereal boxes they had been getting annoying to remove before we had eaten breakfast. My response? You should know what's on them since you put it there before hiding it under the bed. Have fun unpacking the rest of your stuff. Guys, he was horrified. He and his friend whom he moved in with had both eaten that cereal out of his bowls with his spoons. Yep. CLDR, X I thought was really sweet, turned out to be an arse. His mum was actually the sweet thought for one. Friends to hit me, and we break up. I pack his stuff in paper towels he used to masturbate. He and his friend then end up eating his cum. Yes, and that's how you end the story. You just end it with the word cum. The word cum is one of those words that have ruined for me, along with the word fork. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna be able to do the bully one that you can see here. I'm not gonna be able to do this story. I'm just gonna have to move on to the top of all time. Dumb landlord refuses to fix a leak. It destroys other suites. I wouldn't say our landlord is malicious, just dumb and lazy. I live in a condo tower where each unit is privately owned, and I rent from the owner of one suite. Recently, my bathtub faucet developed a small leak. I emailed my landlord about it, and he had ignored it. A couple of days later, it had gone bigger, so I emailed again. No reply. Third time. Now it's a constantly running stream of hot water. I texted, and he said he isn't going to fix it. Alrighty, Buster, have it your way. So I let it fester, and it keeps getting worse and worse. 2 weeks in, I get an urgent call from the condo board that they need emergency access to my suite because a leak from my suite is coming into the floor below and damaging several areas. Of course, I say yes, devil face. And they dispatch a plumber for the leak and numerous contractors to repair the rooms below that had been damaged. Eventually, my landlord gets the bill, $8,000 from the condo board for the repairs, and finally emails me in a tantrum asking what this bill is for. So I reply forwarding him the original emails and text saying he was not going to fix it. I never heard back. Half malicious compliance and half regular revenge. Not a bad story. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna end this episode here. Links will be in the description to my main channel and also the channel that you're on right now that has links to the playlist and the last episode. Go check them out. There's so many episodes. It's gonna be over 90 episodes by the time this one comes out. In fact, it'll be 92 episodes exactly. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. A ding, a ding. I'm the Mad Scientist. Mad Scientist out.